Back Row Ministry of the World Permit, Mr. Motley coming back at you live and direct. So I just want to answer a real quick question somebody asked, and I did my last video on this. And when we talk about the Israeli situation, how should we look at it? So my last video is the Magite, the friend to Israel, and I do not believe that Israel should trust the Magites by any means. But that's what they're going to do. So one thing I don't want to see, and I know I'm going to see it, and we have to ensure that this does not take place, is that we do not separate church and state when it comes to state upon state crime and violence. So if America starts shooting at the Canadians, and the Canadians say, where, you know, America's wrong, and America shouldn't be doing this, and America's committing genocide against Canadians, and then the American media calls anybody in America that defends the Canadians anti-Christian, there'll be a problem. There will be a problem because America's majority of people here are Christians. So we wouldn't like for people to say that and confuse American and Canadian situation with Christian upon other Christian, or let's say if they were majority Muslim, Christian Muslim situation, and now people are calling Americans anti-Christian. Don't turn state situations into religious situations, and that's what we're seeing in Israel. And as I said in my video, Israel, yes, the majority of the religious populations are Jewish, but there are other religious groups in Israel. So, question from the AI overrule. Yes, there are Muslims and Christians in Israel, as I said in my last video, along with the majority of Jewish people. So you have Jewish, Muslims, and Christians in Israel. They didn't say in Gaza. They didn't say in any surrounding areas. We're talking about inside of Israel itself. About 18% of Israel's population is Muslim. There are many Muslim majority communities in Najib. So Najib is like an off branch community inside of Israel, but it's in Israel. Christians, there's about 1.9% of Israeli's population is Christian. About 75.8% of Israeli Christians are of Arab Palestinian origin. So these people are from this area. These are Christians that's from this area. These would be your biblical Christians if you believe in the biblical stories. Non-Arab Palestinian Christians are mainly descendants of Jews who immigrated from the former Soviet Union in the 1990s. So these are Christians that come from the Soviet Union, everyone is descendant of the Jewish religions. We're going to talk about the Jewish religion. Other religions, Israeli is also home to small communities of Samaritans. They still have people who believe in the Samaritan religions, Karaite Jews, Messianic Jews, and there are Seventh-day Adventists and Jehovah's Witnesses and Baha'is, which I never heard of, that all still live inside of Israel. So Israel has many different religions. It's just not one religion. And the problem is when you say Israel and then people just say, well, Jews. No, there are other religions and other religious groups in Israel. So we don't want to confuse a state. That'd be like confusing America for Christians. We don't want to do that. We want to do that. And then you start calling people anti-Christian if America goes bombing people, and then people protest, well, they're anti-Christian. No, they're just anti-American at that time because they're not down with the bombing. So when people are saying that they are against a state and against state actions, that's what they're saying. So the state of Israel is bombing people right now. Is it right? No. It's not right to bomb people. It's not right to kill innocent people. It's not right to do that. And no state has the right to do that. And they should be called out on it if it is becoming a genocide. They should be called out on it. So the state of Israel itself, be it everybody in that state, is guilty of what the state is practicing at this time. And there are people in Israel who are speaking up about this, who are pushing back against some of the things that the country and the leaders are doing it, because it's the leaders who are making these decisions. But, it's not right. It's not right. It's not right for any state, any country, any government to do this to people. It's not right. So I'm not about funding states who do this. There can be any state in the world, and I'm damn sure not about giving money to a state that does things like this. So when we say it's a state issue, we're against the state of Israel, not against the people, not against the religious groups. We're against the state, which the entirety of all those folks who agree with what's going on with that, because it's wrong. Shouldn't be doing it. So let's get out of this business of always trying to interject religion to the state. Because if we don't do it with American situations, why would you do it? That'd be like the Chinese do something, and then somebody say something about the Chinese state doing something, and then you say, well, you anti-Buddhist, No, we're not going to do that. So definitely we want to make sure that, we are addressing governments that are doing things wrong, governments that might be taking actions that might be seen oppressive, because those governments need to hear that, so those governments can work on changing their approach. We're trying to bring peace to the world. We want to see the world as a peaceful place, not as just I got it so I can we can blow each other up. It's not right for either side to do that. Either side. Either side to do that. So we definitely want to make sure that we're not mixing up what the argument is. We don't want states to get involved in, we got the power, so we're just going to do this. No, that's not what we want. So it's not about the Jewish religion. Because that'll be like me saying, well, it's got to be about the Muslim and Christians that are in Israel too. I had to add all them in. So it's not about that. It's about what your state is doing and what your government is doing. And what your government is doing is wrong. Nothing against you, but your government is wrong. Just like, someone from Israel might say something the American government is doing is wrong. Yeah, our government might be doing something wrong. We have to call out our governments when they're doing things that are wrong and unjust. That's just the way people of spirituality and people of faith should be doing sometimes when they see governments behaving this way. Back Row Ministry, the world premiere. Get it right when we talk about things that governments and states are doing that are wrong.